Hey, this is Erick Waldron. I'm going to be explaining how it is that we decidedly put in the head block and tail block for the different shaped guitars. In this case, we have a form for a dreadnought type guitar, and after we take the sides out of the heat bender, typically they'll look about like this. Well, once we bent these sides, usually what I will do is actually use the form itself, and I will put the sides into it. These forms actually open on both ends, and I'll put it into place, putting the bottom of the guitar facing downward. Once I put it in, most of the time it requires a little bit of trimming or shaping to be done on the front or the back of the actual guitar itself. So I'll cut those to shape halfway in the middle of my form so that it fits where both sides are exactly equal, and once you've done that, they should match up on both ends and have a book match. So I'll open up my form, place the head and the tail where they touch one another. I'll shut my form. Once inside of the form, then basically what I will do is I'll decide exactly where the head block and tail block need to go, which needs to be in the dead center of the top and the bottom. The head block and the tail block, typically what I'll use is mahogany in this case. I already have a formed head block which I'll be placing in, and on that head block there is actual space where you get to the truss rod inside of the neck of the guitar. So typically what I will do is I will put that facing up on the table. And what I will do is I will actually glue that block into place. In this case on the tail block, typically I make each of these for each guitar. With 20 different body styles with Waldron guitars, it's imperative that you not get too uniform with trying to make a tail block, because they're of all shapes and sizes according to what each guitar needs according to the body shape. This is just a blank piece of mahogany, and what I'll do is actually mark this piece of mahogany and I'll cut it. I usually will leave my my tail blocks a tad thicker than about 1/2 inch, and I'll usually cut them to size and then shape them with the exact radius of the tail as well as the head. The head block will be shaped to the correct radius for whatever style guitar it is. Once this head block and tail block have been glued into place, it will look like this. This head block and tail block have already been glued into place, and I've taken it over to a disc sander and I've shaped each side. For this particular guitar, I have a 15-degree radius for the back and I have a 28-degree radius for the top. Once this head block and tail block are put into place and I've sanded on both sides and gotten them to the desired radius, then I will go to the stage of putting in the kerfing in an actual guitar, and I'll show you how that's done just in a few moments. This is Erick Waldron with Waldron Guitars. Check us out at Waldron Instruments or WaldronGuitars.com. Thank you. Hey, this is Erick Waldron again with Waldron Guitars and WaldronInstruments.com. Today I'm going to show you how to put in the kerfing in the guitar. This is a guitar that already has the kerfing inside. We did this one earlier to give an example of what it should look like as a finished product. Once you have your guitar sides in the form, a lot of times what we like to do is use a brace to push the sides apart to make sure that it is in the form all the way around and it's snug against the outside edges of our form. Your sides can get misshapen if you don't have it pushed all the way directly against the side. So that's what this center brace is. It's actually just a brace to push it on push the outsides out to make sure that the sides are pushed directly against the sides. Anyway, so I'm going to show you how that's done. You put the bracing on both sides, obviously, and this the whole point of the kerfing is to give structural stability to your top and your back, as well as give the sides some stability. It's actually kind of the framework that holds the guitar together, and also just helps with the strength and integrity of the guitar. Now we're going to go ahead and start putting in some of the kerfing. This is the top of the guitar. The top of the guitar is usually not seen, and so a lot of times when you're working on this top part, you don't have to be quite as precise, although we strive for precision. A lot of times I'll have scrap and little pieces that can be used in different spots, especially on one of these guitars that have really tight waves. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. First thing I'm going to do is, alright, I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to take the kerfing. Kerfing typically will come in these strips, be anywhere from 18 to 24 inches long a lot of times, and I'll cut them to size. I've already cut 2 strips of the same general length of this side. What I'll do is take these pieces of kerfing, which are made out of mahogany typically. I'm going to be applying this with tight bond glue, and you want to do your best to cover every spot on your kerfing, make sure that it adheres properly to the body of the guitar. Usually run my fingers down the side just to get any excess glue off to keep the guitar looking clean. Using some clamps and different types of clamps. Anything that will hold the kerfing down to the body will work just fine. What I'm doing is running my thumb along the outside edge to make sure that the kerfing is at the same edge as the body. I usually use a slightly bigger clamp in the waist of the guitar just to make sure that glue seats up properly. After this, there's usually a glue line that goes down the inside of the guitar body. Just to make sure that it's clean, I'll usually use a wet cloth of some sort and rub down the inside of the body just to make sure that it's clean. It leaves clean lines and a nice looking guitar. And that's how you bend the side, that's how you put in the kerfing on the guitar. This is Erick Waldron with Waldron Guitars and Waldron Instruments. Check us out at Waldron Instruments or WaldronGuitars.com.